Hello everyone, True Zero Emissions here. So let's look at this. I saw this on Facebook and I'm sharing this with you. It says high frequency sound waves make electrolyzers produce 14 times more hydrogen by LOZBLAIN, December 13th, 2022. PhD researcher YEMIMA EHRNST holding a simple acoustic device used to radically boost hydrogen production during electrolysis. And then it says RMIT. RMIT researchers say they've unlocked cheaper, more energy-efficient green hydrogen production with a new electrolysis technique boosted by sound waves. Where have we heard this before? It's a recurring theme, I think we can call it. Those are my words. I'm going to go back to reading this now. With these high-frequency vibrations active, standard electrolysis produces 14 times more hydrogen. Let's continue reading this. Where batteries can't carry enough energy or take too long to charge, green hydrogen is rising as an important zero-emissions fuel that carries a higher density of electrons and supports fast refueling. Green hydrogen is created through electrolysis, splitting water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, using renewable energy to attract each gas to a different electrode, where the hydrogen can be captured, compressed, and stored. Now that's, sorry, I'm trying to close these. Okay, it's not closing. It's over to the side here. Where was I lost my train of thought. Oh, and storing hydrogen, some people don't want to store hydrogen, so, I mean, my thoughts are I could make hydrogen on demand and just add it to the engine, for example, on the intake manifold when the engine's at full RPM, like on the highway, and maybe turn it off when I stop, something like that. See, I have a Prius hybrid 2012, so the engine turns off when I let off the gas. I could have it possibly set to something in there where when the engine turns off, the hydrogen production stops right away. That way it's not building up, right? That's just my thoughts. Okay, so why does this process work so much better when the RMIT team plays a 10 megahertz MHz hybrid sound wave? Several reasons. According to a research paper just published in the journal Advanced Energy Materials, firstly, vibrating the water has the effect of frustrating the water molecules nearest to the electrodes, shaking them out of the tetrahedral networks they tend to settle in. This results in more free water molecules that can make contact with catalytic sites on the electrodes. Secondly, since the separate gases collect as bubbles on each electrode, the vibrations shake the bubbles free. That accelerates the electrolysis process because those bubbles block the electrode's contact with the water and limit the reaction. Oops. Where was I? I lost my place. Reaction. The sound, hang on, all these ads keep distracting me. Okay, that one won't close. Look over there. Okay. Where was I? The sound also helps by generating hydronium, positively charged water ions. Okay, so hydronium is positively charged water ions, right? and by creating convection currents that help with mass transfer. In their experiments, the researchers chose to use electrodes that typically perform pretty poorly. Electrolysis is typically done using rare and expensive platinum or iridium metals. Oh, iridium. I wonder if I could use like a spark plug, right? That has iridium on it. Iridium metals, like an old spark plug. And powerfully acidic or basic electrolytes for the best reaction rates. But the RMIT team went with cheaper gold electrodes and an electrolyte with a neutral pH level. Oh, wow. Neutral. That's very interesting. As soon as the team turned on the sound vibrations, the current density and reaction rate jumped by a remarkable factor of 14. So this isn't a situation where for a given amount of energy put into an electrolyzer, you get 14 times more hydrogen. It's a situation where the water gets split into hydrogen and oxygen more quickly and easily. And that does have an impressive effect on the overall efficiency of an electrolyzer. With our method, we can potentially improve the conversion efficiency, leading to a net positive energy savings of 20%. I'll read that again. With our method, we can potentially improve the conversion efficiency, leading to a net positive energy saving of 27%, said Professor Leslie Yeo. That's Leslieyeo, one of the lead researchers. Between faster reactions, energy savings, and much lower costs, materials, and electrolytes, the team believes its work could help bring down the price of green hydrogen. The research is open access in the journal Advanced Energy Materials. Source, RMIT. We recommend experimental study on the reinforcement mechanism and wave thumping resistance of EICP reinforced sand slopes. Let me zoom into this so you can see everything here. And challenges of rock drilling and opportunities for bioboring. So I don't know if these references are related to this, but maybe it is. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I show this here. Anyway, this was on Facebook, and I'm interested in hydrogen. I'm interested in efficiency, right? I'm interested in efficiency. And here's a question for you, or a question that I think of. When it said that, when I looked up a net positive energy saving, when I looked that up on Google, it looked to me like it was saying that we're over unity. See, it says, with our method, we can potentially improve the conversion efficiency. It says, and that does have it says, so this isn't a situation where for a given amount of energy put into an electrolyzer, you get 14 times more hydrogen. I don't know. That sounded like exactly what they were saying in the beginning. That's just what it sounded like to me, my interpretation. It's a situation where the water gets split into hydrogen and oxygen more quickly and easily. More quickly and more easily, right? For what? For the same amount of energy input, right? That's what I'm understanding. And that does have an impressive effect on the overall efficiency of an electrolyzer. Okay, so even if this isn't over unity, I'm still interested in it. Everyone's interested in increasing efficiency, right? Okay. Now, just my own thoughts. If anyone tries to break this down or does break this down and say it's impossible, you can't do it, I don't research that. I don't look into that. That's boring to me. It's not interesting to me, and it doesn't contribute to the mission of maximizing efficiency. I stay focused on the mission. The mission is, how does it work, not how doesn't it work, right? If someone tries to break this down, because it's always happened, I mean, it seems to be a popular or an unpopular thing that is done sometimes, which is just saying, nope, you can't do everything. We know it all already, and you can't increase efficiency beyond what we're doing. Remember the whole thing about closing the patent office? Let's close the patent office because everything's been invented. And look how different the world is now from the time that was said, that was attempted to be done, right? Imagine today if we closed the patent office and said, there's nothing left to invent. That's just not how it works. Because you can have a set, let's say, laws. We have these laws, or this model, this model, this model, and this model, and each of those systems work at a certain efficiency. Then what happens when you mix them? You mix them in different combinations, right? You have this model interacting with this system, and this system interacting with that system. Then things change, right? It makes me think of a heat pump, where someone will say, oh, we have over unity with the heat pump because we're allowing the environment to contribute in different ways to the overall efficiency. So we're getting greater than 100% efficiency because we're allowing energy to come in from different places. That's what free energy is. Free energy, the material universe is free energy. Okay, should I go down this avenue? should I do this? I'll end up talking for hours. I'll try to keep this very brief. The 0-point field, the ether, primordial energy, whatever you want to call it, contains 10 to the 40th times more energy than the material universe. The material universe, like me, my hand, my what I think of as my body, and anything material in this universe, any material, that's energy, right? That contains a certain amount of energy. The energy in the space that exists in, that I exist in, contains 10 to the 40th times more energy than the material universe contains. And you know how energy works is the material universe actually supplies all the power, that's my understanding, to maintain the ether, the 0-point field, the vacuum, energy from the vacuum, whatever you want to call it. That field is maintained by the material universe. So the material universe is powered by the 0-point field, or the vacuum, infinite energy vacuum, and the infinite energy vacuum, so they power one another, right? The infinite energy vacuum powers the material universe powers the infinite energy vacuum. And the infinite energy vacuum is called many things. Now, when Richard Feynman, Nobel Prize winner and taught at Caltech Pasadena for 37 years, when he said there's enough energy in a cubic centimeter of space, that's the space between my fingers, and it's also the space that my finger exists within, right? That's space as well. That space has enough energy right here, the space that is the air I breathe, right, to boil all the Earth's oceans or to power the planet without end. Now, my research and study has indicated that that's where all of our energy already comes from, all of our electricity. We're translating that field in very small amounts, and we're using that to power our homes, to power the power plant. The power plant sends a signal to our homes, and our homes send the energy through the ground wire into our circuits, right? Remember, we can't make energy or destroy energy? Richard Feynman said, two things stand out to my mind right now. Richard Feynman said, we do not know what energy is. We know what it does, right? We see what it does, we use it, but what is it? He also said, and this relates to physics, that the history is fundamentally irrelevant. What I understand that to mean is all the things that we've discovered about what we call science or mathematics or what is possible in the universe has absolutely no basis on a limiting, I'll call, perception of what's possible now and in the future. So anyone that says that's impossible, that's completely irrelevant. If you look up what is science, I may not be saying this perfectly correctly, but if you look up, like, what does science prove, or does science prove anything, or why can't science prove something, you'll see lots of articles written that science is not designed, it's not made to prove anything. Science is about experimentation. So when someone says, prove it to me, that's not science. When someone says, science says you can't do that, that makes absolutely no sense, and it's irrelevant. Just remember, infinite possibilities. Anything you can imagine is possible. And remember that as long as you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting anyone else, there's no limits to what can be done. We'll see you next time. Bye.